Hello and welcome to Zondell, Lands of Discordance, a Dungeons & Dragons 5e campaign. And we have 5 of our players back again, 2 of them who weren't able to make it, but everybody else was. And we will continue where we left off last. The butte destroyed by an incendiary spell being used by Miranda. Everybody does a short rest, with Darwin doing a song of rest with a saxophone and drumsticks of accompaniment, and everybody starts figuring out plans on how to get down the butte that they are on presently and across to the next fragment that remains, and then over to the one that is after that. And that is where we left off, so I will let you all discuss that.
Well, I think it was discussed that Miranda could, take a... we can tie the ropes together and Miranda can go down, and then they can get that zip line down.
Yep. That was one of the things that was discussed, yes. I just figured that since Elwyn wasn't here, going over it would help.
Indeed.
We'll just push Elwyn off.
Listen, the session I was here, when I actually was here, my character was literally asleep the entire session.
Yes, we know. So basically, that's the plan. How are we gonna tie it up here? Is there any way a rock outcropping that we could tie it to?
Well, there isn't really anything like that on the particular butte that you're on, but you do have titans that you can use, or see if Dobbs can hold it without being moved.
I like that idea. Sil could also try that.
Well, Miranda can fly you down, and you can hold it on the other end.
Yeah, because Umbra's not gonna fly Sil. She may, but just, accidentally release her 200 feet in the air.
Oh, damn. Them slippy fingies.
Alright, so is that the plan?
Shouldn't have used so much lotion. I'm sorry.
So is that the plan? We're all saying this in character now, what the plan is gonna be?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Okay. So...
That's what his character says. Yeah, why not?
Umbra's gonna take out her rope. Still has 250 feet rope. So that's 150 feet of rope right there. Can we use the mending spell to mend the ends together?
Since it's not broken, no.
Message.
Okay. So
yeah, we'll tie the ropes together.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Ooh, who has the highest sleight of hand? I think Sil does. But that doesn't matter, because the dice could always fuck
plus
you
19?
over. Yeah, you do it. So it only has a plus 11. That's not one of her expertise.
25.
Okay. So, you managed to tie them together, and between Dobbs and Sil...
You rolled low.
I did roll low.
Between Dobbs
I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, sorry.
Between Dobbs and Sil afterward, tugging on it and testing it. It seems like it'll hold. You don't know necessarily if it'll hold every single person going across at the same time, but it'll definitely hold at least one or two, maybe even three people before it becomes an issue to your best estimation. Obviously, that may change depending on the particular individual who may be heavier set than others versus extraordinarily light compared to others in the case of
You
the
can
difference
name names.
between Syl and Dobbs versus Darwin.
Benevolence.
And benevolence as well, yes. Though benevolence has the option to just simply glide, so that's not as much of a concern for them.
Rock that glides.
Wait a minute.
And on top of that,
Did we do the
mention-
proper math
Yeah.
for the how long we need the rope to be?
Well, Miranda is basically flying it across to then get it to the other side and at an angle zip line instead of trying to secure it easily there or
Couldn't
going
we just
all the way down the cliff and then across and then back up.
How wide is the gap from this butte to the other butte?
Well, it was 60 feet between the butte that you're on to the next one, and that one was 100 feet across.
Oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, we're not going to be able to tie one rope from this butte to the next highest butte.
No, but you can, use from here down far
A zip
enough
line.
to be safer to go down instead of, falling on the butte below or having to climb and risk climbing. Miranda holding the rope basically means you can zip down it and then let go and, land without much difficulty. Otherwise, if you'd like to, you could try to tie more rope on if there is any.
Anyone got any more rope?
Let's see. Who was it who had given up rope so far? It was Syl and Umbra, I think, were offering some up, and Darwin, was it? Or was it somebody else?
I offered
We
the
have
ability
150
to
feet.
put people across if we didn't have enough, but I didn't have rope.
Elwin, do you have any? Or any cord or anything of that sort?
I have 50 feet of rope.
Okay, that would be enough to get it the rest of the way if somebody wanted to tie that one on as well.
Who wants it? Who wants it?
I'll give advantage to Dobbs. Syl will help him with it.
Yeah, I'm not a Boy Scout.
Alright.
So Dobbs.
Dobbs, go ahead and roll sleight of hand again.
Sorry, I had a phone call. Are we waiting on me for anything?
Yes,
giving you
sleight of
rope.
hand again. Elwin is giving more rope
With
to
advantage.
bridge further across.
Oh.
There's 150 feet of rope, and it was at least 160. The zip line was going to help to just after you get close to the end, let go.
Did you give me advantage with that?
Yeah, so
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Then it's not 22.
It's 22. You rolled lower, or what?
No, it's 26.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's enough that you think it'll hold. Again,
First roll was a 2, the second one was a 7.
2 people at a
Nice.
time most likely seems safest. But it's long enough, actually, that instead of having to zipline it, if Miranda wanted to fly it to the other side, it could be put in with a python, or it can be, held by her or somebody else once they get across.
Sure. Ask. Do we want to use the broken butte, or do we want to just go all the way across?
Zipping down will mean just simply getting to the bottom and more or less just seeing that you hold on, whereas crossing fully will be a matter of your balance. So that is something that you each can think of with regard to your own characters, how secure they feel in that.
No. This is hand over hand. I ain't fucking tightroping shit.
Right?
It's not a
Tight-ropey.
It's not a matter of tightroping. It's a matter of when you are trying to go even tightroping, the rope itself will be swaying a bit.
Oh no, monkey bars, not tightrope. We're not walking across.
As I said, it's not a matter of that. It's a matter of, as you're swaying, if you lose balance, then you have to pull yourself back up. It doesn't mean you immediately fall, but it means that if you miss the rope,
Mike,
as you're
if I'm
reaching,
hanging from it,
He really
holding
wants you
it
to
with
tightrope.
my hand, I don't have to balance. I just have to make sure that I don't let go.
I think he just wants you to tightrope, to be honest.
I thought you were talking about the crawl method, not the hanging.
No.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, in that case, that
But
would
if
be
they want
not
to try
long ago.
walking or crawling or anything, that's on them.
Okay, so Miranda is going to go across, and Dobbs is going to hold it. Who will be crossing first after Miranda? And Miranda, how are you going
Did
to
they secure it with the pittons?
Oh, I thought I was carrying Syl over so that Syl could hold it.
That's what I'm saying. It's up to what you guys want to do.
Yeah, well, first we'll secure it with the pittons and then have...
You grip it as
Miranda
well in
fly.
case.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. Use your strength modifier.
Dobbs, you want to drive these pittons in?
Well, it'll be Dobbs.
Sure.
Dobbs if Dobbs is going to do it on his side, and Syl if you're being flown over on the other side.
Right. Syl's just gonna have to, leave her gear on this side so that Miranda would be able to fly her over there in the first place. And she'll have to take 2 pittons? 2 pittons should be enough, right? Or 1 piton?
Well, second one just gives you a little bit more security, but
Alright, we'll go with
You can
2
take him back
pittons.
up afterwards.
yeah, you just have to prime out.
That's a 21.
Darwin's gonna be on standby, by the way, with Dimension George just prepared, just in case.
Okay.
Fucking pieces.
Also, if Umbra wants to be on the bottom, giving them a little hand support so that they don't tire themselves out, or help them balance depending on what they want to do.
So that was a 1 for the first one.
plus your strength modifier.
But it's an attack. It's a nat 1.
Right, which means you missed Python. What were you hitting it with?
A hammer.
Okay.
So the next.
You just miss and almost hit your hand as you're getting it in place with the first attempt. Nothing else. Just a close miss to hitting yourself.
Yep. You know, it's just the sake of people's lives on the line.
Right.
No pun
But you
intended.
do know that you missed it and that it's not secured. It's not even stuck into the rock yet.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay.
And then the second one. Shit. That's 14.
Oh. The second one's a 26.
And I. Let me roll the douche die. Yeah, she'll hold the rope.
Dobbs will also hold the rope.
Okay. So, are you asking anybody to get your items when they come across, or just having Miranda get it later after everybody is across?
Dobbs will take it.
Okay.
Dobbs has to physically go over by himself.
Right. I'm just saying in terms of how much the total weight will be for whoever is going. How much do you have, approximately? So.
Oh boy, let's see.
Just a rough estimate, it's fine.
Come back to me. Alright, so that's...
It won't be until Dobbs goes across, but just take a brief look at that and give a rough estimate.
24.
Alright, so who is going to cross?
I mean, doesn't the vampire fly?
You mean Strahd?
Yes. I forgot his name.
The vampire Dracula. You have been
Spike?
Pretty much.
Bruce.
So.
Alucard.
Let's see.
The other thing is Darwin's just basically, if the rope don't work, he's ready to catch people. That's what he's trying.
Well, I think we have 2 people that fly. They could help assist the people that can't.
Yeah, Umbra's gonna do that.
I mean, even if I fall, I'll be okay.
Will
Who
you,
are you?
Kermit?
Hey, I'll be okay. I have the ring of feather falling.
Yeah, Strahd can turn into a bat if he wants to.
But
it
no,
recharges
can he
after a long rest.
assist? Is what I'm saying.
You mean with the flight spell?
Yeah.
No, he does not have that spell. But Strahd can get across fine if he needs to.
Man, doesn't even have self-flight. What a shitty vampire.
Well, he has flight. He can fly himself. But in terms of flying somebody else, he never took the spell because, I mean, why would he?
Why would he help somebody?
Well, no, I mean, before the shattering, he had no reason to because, you know, he was a selfish prick. And after the shattering, it's like, nobody's going near the cliff that goes to the valley when they can go down the long road.
So what you're saying, we're the only idiots who are.
Going across cliffs multiple times.
Makes sense.
So,
Well, it turns out it wasn't a good idea to climb up the the butte that we need to go to anyway.
I'm glad I followed the butterflies with you guys.
alright, so which of the PCs is going to go across first? And we will have those not present and NPCs dealt with a little bit further along. Fennec is able to just fly across, so they're not going to be any issue.
I mean, guys, not everybody speak up at once. God.
Well, my character is holding the rope, and my other character will be assisting people across the rope.
Okay,
So,
I
those are
guess
mine.
I guess
Miranda
Elwyn
will assist people across.
I guess Elwyn would go first.
Shit.
Okay.
Will offer a massive encouragement as a 50.
So, what method are you using for your cross?
The safest.
Okay. What do you consider the safest?
The safest.
Let's be honest, there is no safe route to this. Time to both hand it.
Okay, so you're gonna hand over hand dangling.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you're going across about 180 feet in total from the fact that there was the gap between the other one that was destroyed and the next one. Go ahead and make a strength check.
18.
Okay. Elwyn is halfway across as the next person is going. And that will be Linnell. Alright. They are a quarter of the way as the next person can either choose to wait or to start crossing.
I don't want to put so much
will
weight
wait.
on those ropes.
I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
We're not using Carl as rope, right?
No.
Darwin's just gonna pipe up and is like, now, I didn't go to the College of Engineering like most of my other brothers, but I will say, that don't look like the sturdiest rope bridge I've ever seen.
It'll be fine.
Imagine looking.
Okay. Elwyn, go ahead and make another one at disadvantage as you are crossing the remaining half.
Why would he be at disadvantage?
13.
Anyways,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
13.
Okay. You are able to make it the rest of the way. Sweat is on your hands as you are crossing. Your arms feel tired. The weight of what you're carrying, your own body weight and your equipment and everything, and the
donuts.
heat of the day does mean that it is straining to cross that distance, especially with gravity pulling down on you and the tension of what might happen if I fall. But you do make it across slowly. It takes you longer to cross the second half than it does the first half.
question. How much do you think about the fire giant strength weighs?
I'm sorry, the what?
The belt of fire giant strength weighs.
1 second. About 1.5 pounds.
Okay, I can live with that. Thank you.
Okay, so how close are they to all being off the rope bridge now?
Linnell gets the rest of the way right after him.
Okay, so I guess I'll go next then. I'm gonna take my 50-foot length of rope and cut a small chunk off of it. And I'm gonna soak the center in a little bit of water from a water skin, wrap my hands around the ends, and I'm gonna just sling it over the rope and zip line down.
Okay. So right now it's more a straight line since they had added more rope to it.
That's fine.
So you can use that as, kind of lifting and raising the rope up and down if you're wanting to do that instead of your own hands. But that will mean that it's going to be wearing at the center point there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll sling down as far as I can, and then once I stop moving under gravity's weight,
Okay.
I will just do a little bit of like jerking it forward, swinging myself forward with that.
Okay. So I think you misunderstood what I was saying. Instead of sliding down to the remnants of the former butte that had been in the middle, Miranda flew it across with Syl to the other side to make it a straight rope, almost like a tightrope.
Sure, then I'll do the same thing.
So there's no angle.
Instead of sliding, I'll just do that. Jerk it forward, swing my bottom legs out, jerk it forward, using my own momentum to jerk the rope ahead of me.
Okay.
Quickly moving across.
Okay.
In a weird swingy motion.
Alright. Go ahead and make a strength check, and then a strength check at disadvantage.
Okay, let's say 17 for the first one. That's the normal row.
Okay.
And that is a 17 for the second one, with disadvantage.
Okay. Alright. I want you to make a perception check with advantage.
With advantage. Perception, that's +5, so that's gonna be 18.
Okay. You do see that the rope that you're using to swing and pull yourself across is really fraying near the end.
Well, isn't it lucky I gave myself enough space on that rope?
So you just simply are able to shift it and keep it from fraying.
Yeah, like I wrap my hands on both ends of the rope, so I just slightly unwrap one hand because there's enough length that I can do that.
Yeah.
Shift it over, and then...
All right.
10 feet of rope off.
All right, and who is next? Let's see. Darwin or one of the NPCs. All right.
Darwin's gonna say no thank you for that.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said Darwin's gonna say no thank you for that. He's not nice. He is not a fan of heights.
Okay. All right. It will be Goliath next. They try doing hand under hand and get a short distance before their hands are starting to lose grip. They are less than a quarter of the way along. Darwin, Dobbs, Benevolence, and Strahd are still on that side.
Did the rope break?
No. The Goliath did extraordinarily poorly on their strength check. So their grip already seems to be letting loose, and they haven't even gotten a quarter of the way yet.
Miranda goes to assist.
Okay. And we'll give them advantage on their next attempt. Well, they needed it. They had a nat 2 on the first of those 2 rolls. Alright. Alright. In the time that it took for everybody else to entirely make it across, the Goliath has made it halfway now. They're used to more cooler climbs, and their hands are definitely sweating like crazy. But with Miranda's help, they slowly, eventually make it to the other side, and just more or less just kissing the rocky ground, glad to not be dangling like that. Alright. Let's see. Alright. Benevolence, deciding to be a little bit of a goof, just walks across it and isn't putting too much of their weight on it as it is swaying. But the rope is holding till they slip, and they just glide the rest of the way over to the rock and climb back up it.
That, not gonna lie, that would have gave Umbra a small heart attack.
Alright. It is Darwin, Strahd, and Dobbs left on that side.
Strahd flies over, I guess.
He's able to. He's just waiting in case anybody needs help. So.
After kind of punching this way. Yeah, the same. Understand. I just realized I did the motion for like the vanish thing. Ryan, so he's gonna use dimension door to get it.
Okay.
He ain't risking it because he can jump sure high. He can't survive that high of a fall. And he ain't taking no risk like that.
Okay.
Who what?
Darwin is using Dimension Door to get all the way across.
Not even bothering to ask if Strahd wants to come along with you.
Or the last person that can't fly?
I mean, Darwin
Dobbs.
is saying what he's going to do. Would Darwin have thought of that?
Yeah, so you put it on me before I teleport, so.
So, are you taking Dobbs with?
Did he ask to come with?
Are you saying that you're going to Dimension
No,
Door
I
across?
mean, if you just go, you go, man.
Well, I mean, he had
Well-
mentioned earlier that he was planning on doing that. I'm saying,
You
would
know
you
what?
have...
Darwin has been friendly with Dobbs, so Darwin probably would actually ask if Dobbs would teleport across instead of a feat of exercise.
Can I take the rope with me?
Umbro
no,
will
but
get the
That
rope.
is a good question.
yeah, I was going to say Miranda can
Thing
easily
is,
fly
like-
back as long as he just
Yeah, I suppose.
unhooks it. Or if you unhook it and let it fall, then it can just be pulled up.
Okay, yeah. Unhook.
Okay.
Take Pittons with.
Nice. Umbra's just watching you do all this. And
Miranda.
gives a thumbs up.
Miranda can fly the other end of the rope over, and I'll take the door. That was way easier than climbing down, jumping across, going over, and jumping across.
Okay.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been as fun.
Oh no, I think that was enough excitement right there for the whole rope shebang.
You're just a coward.
I don't like heights.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why you're a dwarf.
Strahd turns into a bat, goes across, and after getting to the other side, turning back, just quickly puts his cloak up to keep from burning. Alright. So you are on the second to last butte, the last one having the manor that is built into the side of a outcropping of rock sticking up from the last butte.
Umbra's gonna take back her rope and pittance.
Okay. Is anybody wanting to untie the ropes or just simply leave them for now?
Umbra will try to untie it.
Okay.
I mean, if another butte blows up, we might need him.
Well, I mean, if the butte that you're on blows up, then you're in bigger trouble, and
Well-
if you're on the other one, then no more
I
going
mean,
to
if
that
the
manor.
bridge collapses, or so, because there's another bridge connecting this current butte to the last one.
No, actually. There does not appear to be.
Oh, so we need the rope anyways. There we go.
As you look around, what looked to be a rope bridge across appears to have been illusion. And once you are on this butte, it is missing.
Take some dirt and go to where the bridge was supposed to be and throw some dirt.
Go ahead and make a perception check first.
$25.
Okay. Um, there doesn't seem to be much dirt on the top of this one. There is a fair amount of sand. There is also what appears to be small different sets of footprints from different types of reptilian creatures.
Well, I mean, I don't care what the material's made out of.
Are you grabbing sand or dirt? From the little bit of dirt that's there.
Well, it's all the same, really. I just need some particulates to throw into wood.
I know
I-
it may make a difference.
Dirt.
I think I know where this is going.
As you are looking over, and tossing it where it had been. The bridge itself does appear to have some dirt remain on there. However, there also appeared to be something underneath where the dirt had been. There seems to have been a small hole dug into part of the rock, and in the hole were several small bones, medium-sized bones, and a couple of eggs.
Fireball? 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 Fireball?
I mean, technically I can. Anybody ever seen these eggs before?
Are you gonna grab one of the eggs?
No, I'm gonna point them out.
I thought they were hanging off of the cliff.
No, they're on top of the butte. And he
Oh.
grabbed some of the dirt, which uncovered some of the eggs and the bones in the process. He spread the dirt out.
Do you make a nature check?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Umbra don't see shit. With a 1. She thinks those are stones and not eggs. Can't help you there.
Okay.
Miranda was part of Monster Hunters. What is this?
Nature check.
Nature? 19.
Okay. They appear to be larger than ones that you would have seen before, but similar in nature to manticore eggs.
Fucking hell.
I relay said information.
Manticores lay eggs? I thought they gave birth to live young. Who'd have thought?
Can I look around for signs of a live manticore somewhere in the area?
At present, it doesn't seem to be, but there definitely were multiple different footprints of different creatures in the area.
Manticores.
Ain't no way a mom left these eggs here. Unprotected.
Manticore. Are they the ones that can fly? I don't
Yes.
think they can fly.
Lions. Lion-headed women who can fly. Or women-headed lion who can fly.
But
I forget.
that's off of Greek, the mythology, but in the monster manual, they can't fly. Maybe there's like a mutation that happened, or maybe like the Alchemist did something to make it bigger.
Could have just evolved separately to grow wings.
So instead of looking in the ground, we should be looking in the sky.
We're looking everywhere.
As everybody is examining this, I'd like everybody to make a perception check.
Darwin's gonna go with his passive perception of 20.
Dobbs is also going with said passive perception that is more than 5.
That's a big old.
A then Miranda has a 28.
That's a 19.
Okay.
30 for Syl, 21 for Umbra.
As you are discussing the eggs and looking around at the sky, at other parts of the buttes, etc., you all notice as 3 small reptilian humanoids hoist themselves up from the side of the far end of the butte. One holding a quarterstaff with a bit of metal and gem work put into it. The others holding a spear and a shield. Looking utterly terrified back down below them, then up at all of you, and gibbering a bit as they look back and forth and over at the manor and past you toward there's no bridge there. And they're just freaking the hell out as they seem to be running from something but have no idea where to go.
Dobbs peeks over the side to check out what they look at and what they're scared about.
Okay. There appears to be 2 things. One, there is a heavily scarred, graying furred manticore with longsword-length teeth and black wings that appear too withered to fly.
Is he large size?
It is huge.
Oh.
And behind it,
Can't push it.
there is a cave opening in part of the butte. And there is a glow intensifying and coming toward the entrance.
There's a light coming from the cave,
Yes, and it is getting brighter and brighter.
and the manticore is going away from said light.
The manticore doesn't seem to be in a big hurry, but yes, it is climbing up the cliff after the creatures that are gibbering and freaking out.
Hey, we'll get him on our side, then have two bodies. Anyone
I mean-
recognize what language?
How far down is the manticore?
It looks to be about 40 feet right now.
If he's huge, I could technically stand on him, right?
Technically, as long as you can keep your balance.
I jump down. With my sword outstretched. To attack and land on him.
Okay. Alright. So, What is your first attack roll?
I need numbers. Guts. $32?
Okay, that hits.
DC 20 Dex save.
Fails.
It is prone.
And it is falling.
Action surge! Jump and grab the cliff! Or I can use that as part of... No. Because technically, is the fall part of my movement?
It is not your movement, but
Okay.
if you land, you may have to make a con save as far as being able to move after hitting. So I mean,
I had jumped off the cliff to hit this thing, hopefully, and land on it at the same time to knock it prone, and then jump back up on the thing. So if my fall is not technically quote-unquote movement, and I just take the 40-10, then the jump portion to get back up would be then my movement.
correct. It's just a matter of if you're trying to climb back up afterward.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a climb speed, so it'd be an action to do that. But you can certainly try to grip the side of it and at least keep from falling further.
Yeah.
Alright. Go ahead and first make an attack roll to hit the cliff.
$28.
Okay. And just a strength check.
$28.
Okay. You are clinging on the side of the hill as the Manticore is starting to fall, being knocked prone.
And then I start crawling back up, or climbing back up.
Okay.
For my movement.
And anybody else doing anything presently as these reptilian humanoids are glancing around and such, and Dobbs has just leapt off the cliff.
Legit! All you guys saw was him look over the edge, go, huh!
Yeah,
Bring up his sword
he
and
didn't
then
say what
drop.
it was or anything. As far as you know, Dobbs just, did a Peter Pan right here, right off of that there butte there.
I'm just keeping my hands open and clear of anything to show I'm not gonna attack the reptilian humanoids.
Darwin would be doing the same, kind of helping. Thing is, like, clear. They've got some of them to the point of they're probably just nomads out here type deal. So having people to help us fight off probably went through that cave.
Zill's gonna go over to them with her rapier out and ask them in common what they're doing here.
Okay.
Are they like a recognized reptilian species, or are they like humans that have reptilian skin?
Go ahead and make a history check.
That's a 5.
You're not entirely certain. There's a vague similarity, something, but you can't quite place it. But they essentially say that they tried to escape. Traps done. No need. Still kept. And pointing over at the manor. And then one of them is going to start trying to head toward where the illusion bridge is. Go turn in.
They were
Not pulled apart. You can see there does appear to be kind of stitching and acid burns and places where it looks like rope burns had happened and manacles of some kind had been put on them and heated. Different ways of trying to make them comply one way or another. Their speech, broken as it is, and in accent, it seems a bit like they're speaking common but used to more draconic.
I don't think that's one of the languages she knows.
I was about to say.
I think there was only one person in our party that spoke it.
Hold on.
It was the other kitsune.
Yep, nope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that other kitsune was the only one in the party that spoke it.
So, anybody else want to try and make a history check to see if they can identify these creatures?
Umbra's gonna try, why not? Fuck you, dice. That's a nat 1 plus
That was a history check, bro.
3.
Micah, you said it was a history check, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Darn will give it a go. He's got a good bonus on that. Gotta open up my phone though and pull on the dice roller app, so we'll see. Dirty 20.
Okay. You vaguely remember some stories of adventurers before the Shattering, odd little bits of tales here and there where, well, most people know kobolds as little reptilian humanoids. There was also another race that used the same name that were more mammalian, almost rat-like. And this trio, on closer examination, looks like they had been that species before scales and bits of flesh were sewn into them that were not part of their original biology.
So what I'm hearing is 3 more meat shields.
Yeah, Darwin's gonna kind of pass it along. Does that mean he'd kind of know what language they speak, maybe? Or have a hint towards it?
Well, they do seem like they speak Draconic and maybe something else that might be long forgotten. The Shattering, was a long time, plus tales from before the Shattering distorted over time. But it does seem more or less that, in addition to just the general tortures that were done, it seems likely that the Alchemist had tried to rectify their knowledge of what kobolds are supposed to be to what this trio looked like. Forcibly.
Oh. I want...
They look like a mockery of the concept of a kobold that somebody might have thought up, having either heard of them but never seen them before, or it having been centuries since they had seen one last.
Darwin's gonna start feeling real bad for these creatures. He's gonna walk over and just gonna kind of like pounce her. Just be like, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Make a perception check.
I'm gonna go with passive perception again here. 20.
Okay. As you start approaching them, one of them gibbers very loudly, pointing the spear at you as you're about to walk across part of the sand. And one of the other ones is about to start trying to cross the bridge back toward the manor.
Darwin's gonna stop, and he's gonna like point down at the ground, like where I stop and be like, "Is this not safe?" Or is this not okay? Trying to, because again, we've encountered traps on every other view.
Yeah. It seems to gesticulate and say sand killer.
Oh. Is there... Okay. Oh, I don't want to think about what the sand is now. Alrighty. That's why there was a differentiation between the dirt and the sand earlier, too. Darwin's gonna be like, sand monster or sand spell? Kind of like trying to figure out what it is about the sand that...
They repeat sand killer after giving a little shrug. The one with the staff gives a nod and says, both.
Has Jobs finished climbing back up yet?
Presently, yes. You're just finishing up. Dobbs, go ahead and make a perception check.
14.
Okay.
Or no, 18 passive.
Yeah, Darwin's, by the way, is going to pass along this information to Dobbs the second he starts coming back over the edge, just to make sure he doesn't walk into anything.
You can hear below you as the huge, odd manticore is falling still, and there is a sound of a large, loud roar coming forth in anger as this thing is doing that, replaced by a higher-pitched scream.
What's the scream sound like?
It sounds like it came from the manticore, but was in the middle of a roar and then suddenly in pain.
Peek over the edge?
What you see from further down below, where the cave entrance had been, is a hulking mass that looks like stone that is constantly spilling lava out of its mouth and eyes in a generally almost humanoid form. And it has the manticore smacked into its shoulder and impacted hard enough that it hurt, and is now trying to get up as it is catching fire.
The Manticore?
Yes.
So did it hit a ledge, or?
It hit this thing that just came out of the cave.
Well, wouldn't that knock the thing out with it and continue falling?
If their impact knocked it prone, yes. It didn't.
So they're just kind of sitting on his shoulders now? Like,
They're sitting on one of its shoulders, yeah.
this
Just
huge
having a nice
manticore.
roast.
This huge manticore, 20, 25 foot, whatever, is sitting on this 6 foot humanoid's shoulder.
No, he said it was a hulking
It's
humanoid
huge,
shape.
but it's humanoid in shape.
I was about to
I, all I
like
heard
some
was
type of fire
hulking
golem
humanoid.
thing.
I was like, yeah.
No, this thing is also huge. It's more that the manticore landed, and despite the impact, this thing is sticking part of its body out of the cave and was able to not get knocked down with the manticore.
Ask the newbies. Hey, what's that?
That's Tim the Destroyer.
Not Tim. Wait, Tim the Tap Man?
Fireheart! Hot, hot, hot! Banebringer.
What?
Painbringer.
He said Flame Burger.
Friend or enemy?
Oh, that sounds great. I'll go for a flame burger right now.
It said Fireheart, hot, 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 Painbringer.
Oh, good thing I got that Ray of Frost spell the last time I leveled up.
Is it?
Yeah. Because it's a hot guy, and I freeze, therefore no more hot.
Well, again, is friend or enemy?
I would assume the giant hulking mass probably isn't going to be friendly, because they just described it as Painbringer. So... I mean, call it a hunch. I mean, if it is friendly, that'd be fantastic. I could go for a massive
I'd
build like
take
that.
out my crossbow and shoot the fire thing?
Rain bolts down upon it.
Alright. While you are doing this, the kobold that was at the bridge starts trying to cross it. And as they do, there are small bursts of sand that come up from 3 places atop the butte. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
About
no.
time.
Come here, D20. Alrighty, Darwin is sitting at a very tasty 10.
Miranda's a 17. Dubs is a 13.
Actually, hold up. That'd be 11 for Darwin, not 10. I don't know how to do math, apparently.
$23.
All right, Blood Hunter. Jesus Christ. He's like, I'm ready. Let's do it. Right now.
Blood for the blood blood.
Okay.
Blood for the bloodbath, yeah.
Elwin?
I forgot I was muted. I said 12.
12. Okay.
Man, for a soon-to-be frog, you're still moving faster than me.
Ribbit.
All right.
Aren't you a cleric? Can't you just cure him of diseases?
I
You
am a
think it's
bard.
that easy still?
Also,
Oh.
yeah, you think it's that easy.
And it's a curse, not a disease, right? That was the problem we ran into last time.
Yeah, which, I mean, honestly, the Archmage could probably do something about it.
Just doing it all in. All right. And Kale, as you are the first, you and everybody else can see what appears to be a athletic-looking human made entirely of sand, with sand shaped into cords and rags around them. Just a bit of dust and sand around their bodies, swirling slightly, and just a head that has these sweeping back curves and no real face to it. Three of them rise up from the sand atop the butte.
Would it be fair to assume that my character would know whether or not these would be elemental more so than humanoid?
You can go ahead and make a nature or arcana check.
Okay, I'm gonna go with what is better. Wow, they're the same. Okay. That's gonna be a 22.
Okay. They do seem to be elemental.
Okay. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast Armor of Agathis on myself. Okay. So hang on. I need to add temporary hit points. Okay. And then how close are they to us? Or to me?
They are spread out. The closest one to you is 10 feet away.
I will go to the closest one to me and hit it with my sword.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. No. Yes. Armor of Agathis is an action. I don't think I can go up and attack.
Well, if you use your action surge, you can.
Yeah, I've already used it. We've only done a short rest, so...
Okay.
I'll just stand still. I won't go up to him. I've cast Armor of Agathis and I'm prepped. I will help whoever is next to me, if there is someone next to me who wants to do something.
Okay. So?
How tall are they?
They are medium in size, so they're a little bit shorter than you.
Does she really want to fight, though? It's been a long day. She's going to take out her Addy short sword. And the other one is what? And it's what, like 30 feet away?
25. And there's another one which is 40.
Should go over to the one that's 25 feet away. Why not? She'll stab it. Hey, not 20.
Okay. What's your damage? Wolf.
It is 5. Those are the short swords. 58 piercing damage with the sneak attack. And then bonus action, disengage, and move back 5 feet.
As you thrust it in and pull the blade back, you can see how the swirling mass of their form seems to swallowed in, and some of the grains do get darker and spread out and don't come back to it, but it does not feel the same as stabbing into a solid form.
Fantastic.
Time for fire spells.
That's her turn.
Okay. So the first one of these is going to lift off the ground lightly. And it is going to form a claw that is going to reach out and try to lash at Syl twice. That is a dirty 21 to hit.
That misses.
And that is a dirty 24 to hit.
That hits.
All right. And that is 20 slashing damage. and the sand is going to swirl around you and deal an additional 9 slashing damage. So that is 29 in total.
Alright.
Alright. And it is going to disperse out into the form of a cloud of sand and dust. And heavily obscure yourself, Kale, and Dobbs.
What's affecting Dobbs now?
One of these sand elementals is dispersing itself out into a sand and dust cloud. It will give you disadvantage on attack rolls against it, and may make perception checks at disadvantage. Alright, it is Miranda's turn.
Is it local, or is it just, or is it around me, or is it just in this area?
It's spread out. It becomes gargantuan in size, but it's only really seeming to affect the three of you while within that area. In some
Okay.
areas, it's larger or smaller as it is swirling around, but it seems to focus on the three of you as the majority of it. That's Miranda.
Does it look like the sand people, or the people that were going to cross the bridge, have turned around to surprise, like they're going to assist?
The one that was trying to cross the bridge glances back and runs in terror toward the manor.
Is that the one with the staff?
It's one of the ones with a spear and shield.
Where's the one with the staff?
They are still near where you are, since they didn't really move further forward after coming up. So, what is Miranda doing?
I am reading the description.
Okay.
There's two things that I want to do, but I don't know. suggestion.
Okay. Who are you using it on?
Ooh. Twin. Daily twin spell. Suggestion. On the one that's running and the mage. To help us new people fight.
Okay.
DC 21 Wisdom. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, DC 21 Wisdom.
Okay.
Do they look like they're turning around to fight?
The one who is trying to run away does appear like they are turning back and heading back toward the group. The other one seems to be shaking their head lightly and glaring for a moment. Gibbering something quickly at the other two and gritting their teeth a little bit. You don't think they like that, but it doesn't look like they're trying to attack you or anything like that, at least. Right. Anything else that you're going to do?
Action surge. Suggests the same thing to the remaining one, DC 21.
Okay. That's concentration.
You are right.
I mean, you could try to cast it again and cast it on
No,
two,
but
but
they would,
yeah,
he would turn and run again.
he might.
Got one more. I don't think that one is. Yeah. DC 21. Charm. It is also wisdom.
Are you trying to do that to the mage or toward the other one?
I'll do the mage.
Okay. And what are you telling them?
In a very well, in help us fight, yes?
Must fight. Nowhere to go.
Said must fight?
Must fight. Nowhere to go.
Okay.
They do seem a little bit more relaxed, though, than they had been a moment before.
Okay.
All right.
I go up in the air a little bit farther. So the one is suggested for 8 hours, and the other one's charmed for an hour.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Strahd is going to use a firebolt on one of the sand creatures. Right, and that hits. And that's hilarious. That was a 5d10.
No.
And it rolled 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm like, what?
It's called above average damage right there.
Yeah, not only that, but that's a straight.
Straight down the stairs.
So, he hurls fire at one of the ones that hasn't thus far moved or attacked. And as it burns into the sand, part of it has turned to glass and starts to fall and shatter on the rock of the butte itself. Alright, and then Strahd is going to look over toward Dobbs and say, "Kill it with extreme prejudice," and give you inspiration.
Oh.
He's a bard too? What?
Imagine Strahd and Darwin have a saxophone battle.
Well, he and Gisela had a fair bit to talk about stories and songs before earlier in the campaign. So. And that will end his turn. And coming up from over the edge of the cliff, this huge elemental just crests over the edge and is going to try and...
You mean I don't get to start off this by trying to shoot him first when we start the combat?
I'm sorry, what?
I thought I had started the combat with this shot.
The combat got started with the kobold trying to fake kobold trying to cross over the bridge.
Oh, so he got to do that before I pull the.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, you are prepared for it, but
I don't need to do it anymore. He's off the side of the cliff.
Yeah. He was climbing the whole time, so you would have had a disadvantage in terms of shooting at close
Well, the dude
range
just
anyways,
fell on
but-
him. I was trying to shoot him too.
Yeah, well, I get that, but regardless,
That's gonna suck.
so as it crests over, it is going to try to smash into the butte with 2 attacks. All right. As a large amount of rock in a 15-foot diameter circle is smashed and turning into lava, Dobbs, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Bye, guys.
Good knowing you.
That is a 7.
So it wasn't aiming directly at you, but it is enough to just knock you to the side as it is smashing down. You're not knocked prone, but you are knocked closer to the cliff in the process.
Fair enough.
You are now only 3 feet from the edge of the cliff. And the second smash is now at you.
They smashing me and not the ground anymore?
Yes. That is a 24 to hit.
Reflex. Reaction. Miss.
'Kay.
Parry.
Alright. Does your parry work with huge creatures?
It's on melee attacks.
Okay, so it doesn't specify. Let me see how far off you knock it, because it might still have some of the lava damage, though it won't, require the saving throw aspect. Alright. So you do knock it aside enough. You take 3 fire damage as a small bit of the lava surges up from where it does impact, though. Alright, and then it is Ellen's turn.
Okay. So, what exactly am I looking at?
You are presently looking at what appear to be 3 mammalian creatures that have been stitched up, tortured, with reptilian scales and such sewn onto them. 2 humanoid figures appearing to be made out of sand, and 1 that had turned into a cloud of sand and dust. A huge humanoid-looking figure of rock and magma, and on one of its shoulders, trying to put out a fire from where it had impacted, what appears to be a larger than normal manticore with black withered wings.
Okay, so one of those chameleons are still up, is that what?
The stitched together ones, well, all but one, were suggested and charmed to help us fight.
The other one's non-hostile.
At least presently.
Yep. If you attack
Okay,
it, that'll quickly change.
Yeah.
I mean, don't tell me the odds.
How far away is the Manticore?
It is about 20 feet up, and I'd say about 20 feet from you. About 30.
30 feet?
It's on the shoulder of the magma rock elemental dude.
Magma elemental, yes. It
Well, I'll
does
just-
appear to have been burned a bit, so
Burned a bit.
yeah, the manticore does.
Well, I mean, listen, if it's a Manticore, it's a Manticore.
Oh, Micah.
Yes.
When I did that prone thing, I actually did damage to the Manicore.
Okay.
So it will take 2, 36,
2 damage. What?
40, 45 damage. 9 of which is electrical.
Shocking.
So yeah, between all of that, it does look to be badly battered, bruised, bleeding, and burning.
No, sounds like I need to put it out of its
Not
misery.
having a good day.
I'm going to do it a favor and put 2 arrows into it. $25.
That hits.
28.
Hits.
Alright, let me go roll for damage. Give me a second. Can't remember to roll for that radiant damage. Where the fuck is my dice? Ah, here it is. $38 plus 6 radiant damage for the first hit.
Okay.
It's also below its oh, never mind, I don't even have to ask that. Hunter's mark. And 47 plus 3 radiant damage.
How do you want to do this?
In its eyes.
So even if though it's looking away from you, arrows
Yeah,
fly
right through the back of the
its
head.
head.
Well, it's rolling around trying to put out the fire and just quickly.
I can't imagine it screaming. Ah, ah.
All right. So, yep, it definitely doesn't look like it is going to be complicating the fight more than whenever its body sloughs off of the magma elemental or burns up. As it is not moving and the fire is burning it, and body's sliding a little bit along the surface, but the fire is also kind of melting the flesh to the stone. All right. And anything else that you're doing on your turn?
No.
Okay. then the next one is going to go and let's see. It is going to try and attack Darwin.
What cutting words that bitch? Nuh-uh. Not today. No.
So it is going to make a multi-attack against you. So
Rude.
the first is
Cutting advantage apply to all of it or just the first attack?
It would be to whichever that you are using it against. You wouldn't know beforehand, necessarily, unless it just looks like it's going to be far off. In this particular case, it appears like a 15 is more likely that it's, I'm guessing, going to miss. So you would know,
Yeah, so I can do
easily
it
enough.
after the roll.
Right.
So I can do cutting words after the roll, but before I know the result.
Yes. In your particular case, you know your AC. So,
Yeah.
like I said, in this particular case, that would work.
Alrighty.
And the second one is
What was the first roll again?
15. And the second one is a 19.
Right, so we are going to go ahead and use a cutting words on the first one because I can guarantee that's going to go lower than my armor class. So, cutting words, and we are subtracting 2 from that, which puts it at a 13, so I'm good. I'm safe from that one, but the 19 is still going to hit.
Okay. Alright, and you're going to take 21 slashing damage.
Gotcha.
And as it is sand swirling around you, you'll take a bonus 2 slashing damage.
Oh, that's not bad.
So,
Be better, could be worse.
Alright, and it is, as a bonus action, going to disperse. And it is going to give you, Strahd, and Umbra disadvantage to hit it and on perception checks.
Gotcha.
Alright, it is your turn, Darwin.
Darwin's going to go ahead and start off by rubbing his hands together, giving a big old thunderclap. Start off with, which is a Constitution 17 save.
That's a 4.
Alright, and that means I get my 3d6. Wait, where'd I put my big... There's my big dice cube.
Your what dice cube?
I have a giant d6 that contains 3x3x3 of more d6s.
No, I meant just because of how it distorted, it sounded different.
Oh. 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 I. Ooh, nice. All right. That is 11 damage with that thunderclap right there.
Okay.
Alrighty. Any of the other sand elementals within 5 feet of me when I made that clap, actually?
No, not within 5 feet.
Well, that still works decently well. Then with a follow-up action, or bonus action, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and toss a second level healing word towards Syl. 2d4 plus 4. Where is my d4? Where's my pointy bits? That would be total of 10 health back to Syl.
Thank you.
You are welcome. And that should be... Well, I guess I got movement left. Dawn's going to go ahead and just space it out a little bit, make sure that spaced out from the others a little bit, just so that the little dispersion attacks that they're doing aren't able to hit too many of us at once.
Okay. And then the fake kobold spearer is going to look over, see that Elwyn has killed the manticore. And it is going to stab into the egg and then turn toward the magma elemental, crouching down and putting up its shield. Alright, and it is now Dob's turn.
Okay. $81 magical slashing, of which 16 is electrical.
Okay.
$27 to hit.
Hits.
It's in a charge. And I am knocking him back 10 feet off of the cliff in midair.
Alright.
I'm doing a shove instead of damage. Because I had to go and make sure that that didn't have any restrictions on size, and it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of broken. Same with parry. Like, this, the Taras can slam its claws on you. Oh, I parry that.
Alright. Yep. Okay. It is falling. And anything else you're doing on your turn? and the large mantiqueen, when you hit it, plops onto the top of the butte. Its corpse is still there.
Oh, he doesn't go get him. Go with him.
It was barely hanging on, and you knocked it back, so the inertia kind of just flipped it the other way. Equal and opposite reaction.
I was hoping to knock it off the cliff along with the other guy, but no, somebody had to go and like shoot 2 arrows through its eyeballs.
It wasn't doing so well in the first place. The magma elemental, on the other hand, is not going to be doing so good pretty soon.
So there's 2 dispersed guys up here and 1 not.
Yes.
How far away is he?
From you, he is 22 feet.
I'll move closer to him. I've got, since it said 10 feet before, or 15, I only need 10. I've got 30, so I've got 10 left of my movement, so I'll move 10 towards him.
Alright, so you are 12 feet from it now.
Yep.
Alright. It is its turn. And it is going to look at you.
No, no.
And make 2 sample attacks. So that is a nat 20 and a 19
parry.
plus 9. So that is 28 on the second one.
I parry the nat 20. Whatever. They'll both hit.
Okay. I was just about to say, it's like, I don't know if it does on that. Yeah, it's been a bit since I've read that in terms of what.
No,
do
it's
parries.
a reaction to add my bonus modifier
To
my
your AC. Yeah, I figured it was something like that. And I was like, I know it won't work with the net 20, but I didn't know if it would help with the 28. Because I know you do have a decent AC. All right.
It's a good thing I have a lot of hit points.
All right. So that is 41 on the first slashing damage.
Okay. One sec.
17 on the second. And 4 bonus, as there's just a swirl of sand around. And then it is going to disperse and move toward the bridge.
I'm going to roll superiority to reduce damage. That one's actually called parry. That's the fighter one.
Okay.
So I'll reduce 7 damage. It was, how much was it all?
In total, it was 62.
62 and reduce 7, so 55.
Yep.
Okay.
is the fake kobold cleric. It is going to look over at you, and it is going to heal 7 hit points. And then it is going to fire a sphere of energy off at the one that's near the bridge. Actually hits. Well, it doesn't have a whole lot of a bonus on that regard. So. And does minimal damage for 4 damage.
Whatever.
It's still hit, you know. It's got a +5 to hit, and for, you know, how high level you guys are, a lot of the monsters have a bit higher. So yeah, it does that in thunder damage. And then that ends its turn. It is Umbra's.
How big is this obscurity?
It is spread out across the whole butte, but it is only affecting those individuals who were previously mentioned.
Yeah, but how big is it? Is it 30 feet high, 10 feet high, 60 feet high?
So right now,
Or is it like an effect that
it's
they can
surrounding
put on
you.
someone? So it's like a hex spell.
Kind of. It's the entire form has spread out to gargantuan size, but it's focusing enough around you that it's affecting you more than other people.
So she couldn't fly up above this?
You could potentially do something to, say, get it off of you, and then fly up and be out of it. Then it wouldn't be able to apply it to you unless it moved. But in order to do that, it would have slower movement while it's dispersed, and if it tried to reform into itself, that might take time. We'll let you save this particular phone. Alright, it's going for now. Let's hope Xfinity doesn't screw it up again.
One can hope.
Yeah, and doubt. Seriously, press X to doubt.
Huge X.
So, Umbra,
Yo.
it's your turn.
Oh, you didn't hear my awesome plan?
I didn't hear anything because of Xfinity.
Ah. Well, now it has to work. She's gonna cast Create Water in a 30-foot cube in front of her, where her body is in it, but not her wings.
Okay. And you have created water in front of you and are able to either keep your head in it and hold your breath, or keep your head out of it and breathe fine.
It rains in a 30-foot cube in front of her.
Okay.
So if she puts her head in there, she's not gonna drown.
Well,
hope.
create water doesn't need it to necessarily be rain, so that's why I was like, are you creating just a cube?
Well, it says if there's no vessel, it rains in a 30-foot cube.
Right. There's the surface of the butte, which would be like a puddle, so I'm just saying, like, you're making it rain in your particular choice. That's what I was saying. Regardless, so yeah, it is raining in front of you. Anything else that you're doing?
Does that sound effect go away from her?
It does not appear to, no.
Sad day. She's gonna use a bonus action to change the fire element on her revolver to ice. And she's gonna fly up 30 feet.
Okay. And is that ending your turn?
Yeah.
Alright. Then the fake kobold spearer is going to try and lash out at the one that is near the bridge. Actually hit and did max damage for 5 piercing, which is reduced as non-magical. Alright, and that hits it. And then we go around back to Kale.
Alright, what can I see going on? What's available on my site?
Well, there are 2 swarms of sand and dust, gargantuan in size, that are swirling around, and a figure made out of sand, which is over on the bridge, and making the bridge more visible as its surface is kind of touching the edges. And then there is also the fake kobolds, which are around.
How far away am I from the big fire boy?
The big fire boy is over the edge of the cliff, falling down right now.
I'm sorry, I was building a different character. I was making a cleric in case I died, so I wasn't paying attention.
70 feet away from me.
Okay.
I mean, in this campaign...
Yeah, right. So, okay. You said there's an elemental I can see, or is it just the 2 that are dispersed?
There's one that you can see, yes. He's about 30 feet from you right now on part of the bridge.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my bonus action to activate my Crimson Right, so I'm gonna take 1d8's worth of damage. Reroll that. So I take 3 damage. And then you see my hand come away from the pommel of my sword, and as my blood kind of streams down the sword, it lights on flame. I run towards the elemental, and I'm going to hit it very hard.
Okay. And what is your attack roll?
Let's see. So the first hit is an 18.
Okay. That hits, just barely.
Okay. The second one was a natural 20 for 31. So I'm gonna action surge and hit it twice more. We got it. Yeah, so the second hit is a crit. Nat 1 on the third. 19 on the fourth. Okay, so I'm thinking, so it's 3 hits, the second one's a crit, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and because I added the Crimson Right to my sword, do I double that dice roll as well for damage?
It
On the
would
crit?
be it'd be the attack itself that gets doubled.
Right, but
Um,
because the Crimson Right adds a D8 of fire damage to the attack.
Right. It's just as long as it's the attack itself and not a separate thing like Hex or something like that.
Not a separate.
That's all I'm saying is as long as it's something that applies to the attack.
Okay, so then the first hit, it's not a crit, is 11 piercing damage and 3 fire damage. The second attack, which is the crit, that's 12 plus 8, that's 20 piercing damage.
Okay.
And that is 12 fire damage.
Okay, is that doubled?
Yeah, that's been doubled.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep. And then third hit
Sad day.
is 13 piercing damage and 7 fire damage.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay.
Look how simple that was, guys. Look how easy your turns can be.
And since you had the nat 1, roll a dex save.
Sure, my dex of plus 14, I can do that. That is a 24.
Okay. You managed not to slip and fall prone.
Sick.
Alright, it will be Syl's turn.
Oh, sorry. Before, I did brand this one, so I know where it is at all times.
Okay.
And you have the information for being branded.
Yeah.
Cool.
Since it's like all around her, if she makes an attack, would it hit it?
You are at disadvantage from the obscurement.
But she can like.
You can still try to
stab
attack
at
it.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. $25.
Hits.
Nine piercing damage. Mm. Fuck it. She's gonna put away her weapon and bring out her crimson scythe. Should have done first, but whatever.
Okay. Is that ending your turn then?
Yep.
Alright. So the one that is swirling around first 3 forms around you. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
$13.
Okay. You are blinded for 1 minute.
Again with the fucking blinding.
I was just going to say, it's very familiar.
Alright.
And then it is going to multi-attack you again.
She has advantage on now because she's blind.
Yep. And that was a nat 20 even without advantage on the first one. And on the second, that is a dirty 21.
The 21 misses.
All right. And you're going to take 23 slashing damage. And bonus of 9 slashing damage. And then it is going to stay right around you. And end its turn. Partially in your space. Miranda.
Yo!
It is your turn.
So, are they all dispersed again?
One is dispersed still, one is on the bridge, and one is within Sill's space. Part of them is like morphed around Sill.
The one that's not dispersed and not inside, is it close to anybody else?
It is close to one of the fake kobold spearers. That's an interesting spell.
Yep. Oh, you like it. Detonating a fireball in the dispersed one in a manner, in a location, in midair, that only hits it.
Okay.
And if at all possible, so that it gets the one that's not dispersed and not inside Sill as well, without hitting anybody else.
Okay. Alright, and that is a dex save, correct?
Yep, DC 21.
Oops. That's a d12. I should not be rolling that one. There's no way I can get it if it gets that.
Why not?
Alright, so
It's got modifiers.
It does. It's got good modifiers. It still wouldn't be enough. 12. So the first one has a 14 and the second one has a 23.
So the dispersed one fails and the other one doesn't.
Yes. Which is odd in terms of how one that's stuck on a bridge failed. But the dispersed one, which is larger, just swarmed away it. So how much damage is that going to be? Go ahead and roll that up.
Yeah, I'm rolling it. $39.
Okay. Alright. And part of it turns to glass and falls, shattering as it hits part of the bridge.
And then the other one gets to take 18 or 19.
19.
It's round down.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he'll take the half damage.
Alright. Anything else that you were doing?
Yeah. Bonus action firebolt.
Okay. The one that failed is fully turned to glass and shattering.
Is that, are you trying to say DM speak he's technically quote unquote dying?
It is at the very least, even if it rolls a death save, it would take it a long time to reform from breaking out of glass and shattering down below. It's definitely not going to be any issue this fight, no matter what.
Sure.
Plus, it loses 2 death saves when it falls to the ground, so it's got a lot going against it.
Well,
Still could pass, but it's unlikely to bother you. Yeah, it failed on its third one, so it's definitely dead.
30
pass
to
two, though.
hit. 30 to hit the other one.
Okay.
28 fire damage. Almost max rolled.
Okay. So, a lot of it is also turning to glass, but it is still a significant portion sand spread around, dispersed still. Alright, anything else that you're doing?
Has she used her action search?
I believe you were going to before. Let me just do a search. Yes, when you did the charm person.
Okay, yep, fair enough. I'm done.
All right. And
She only gets her daily.
yeah. Since she's not a fighter.
Dip, dip, ba-da-dur, ba-da-bur, ba-da-bur.
He is going to. He is going to use Hillwhelm's Scream on it. Which will make it do a wisdom saving throw. And it fails. Takes psychic damage, and there's a scream in the sand as it plummets into just piles of sand on the butte. And takes 7 psychic damage. Alright, and then that was his action. And we'll end his turn. Magma Elemental is still falling. It does not grab hold of the cliff, so it is still falling further. Alright, that would be Elwyn. However, they are not here. So it'll just fire a regular arrow into a pile of sand. Since they can at least see it clumping up, they'll get advantage on that. Yeah, it hit. And do 18 piercing. Alright. It is prone. It is going to have its movement to get up. It is forming and going into Strahd's space. And Strahd has to make a con save. Wow, Strahd, you got a low roll on that. That's only a 6 with his +3.
So he's blinded too.
You telling me he doesn't have any legendary resistances?
He is not using his legendary resistance right now.
Okay, fair enough.
He's not as worried about these things as the other half of him, so because they choose whether or not to use it when using a legendary resistance, it's more tactical for him not to yet. is going to attack Strahd. Nat 20. And a dirty 14. Actually, that one should be on advantage, so... Dirty 17. So, misses Strahd with the second attack, but does hit with the first. That is 40 slashing, and a bonus of 3 slashing. Alright. That ends its turn. It is Darwin's turn.
Forgot I didn't have my mouse plugged in and I was trying to like scroll through my list of spells. I'm like, where'd my mouse go? Oh, I'm having a stroke.
That's the second
So
time. You
one
should
of
probably
the-
see a doctor.
Yeah, possibly. So only one of these sand creatures is fully down right now. The other two are taking a beating, but the other two aren't down yet, right?
No. One just reformed, and the other one is dispersed presently. One of them has been glassed and fallen. And the fact that they were dispersed is why the bridge didn't catch fire, because they absorbed the fire.
Okay. Where's the one that's currently formed again?
The one that's currently formed is in Strahd's position. Oh wait, no. There is two that are formed. One at Syl and one at Strahd. The one that was dispersed was the one that moved to where Strahd was. So, yeah, one's at Syl and one is at Strahd.
Like inside of them, like partially...
They're in their position. They're partially formed around their head and body.
Okay, well, we'll do something simple. We will start off with a... We're gonna do
Fireball.
a... No. We're gonna do a 5th level Mass Cure Wounds. The individuals being healed.
The elemental.
Heal the elemental. No.
Honorable.
So,
Fight it at its strongest.
find it at the strongest. So it'll be Syl, Abs,
Give it a senzu bean.
Bruh, Kale. Who else is?
You said Syl, Dobbs, Kale?
Umbra as well. I believe they've taken a little bit.
Umbra.
Didn't she just
She
get her
has
ass
not.
crit?
That was Strahd.
Oh,
Yeah, Strahd took 43 slashing damage.
Shit, I don't think I actually have enough targets for healing.
Well, I mean, you can still heal. You'll just have one target
Do
less.
I'll tell you what. Be nice to the little kobold people, because Syl, Dobbs, and Kale are the only one on our side besides myself that have taken damage. The 3 guys are at least trying. Why not? Screw it. I don't want to waste healing here, so... The 3 little fake kobold dudes will occupy the 3 other slots for healing then.
Are they little? I thought they were medium sized.
Or whatever size they are. I'm calling them little in an endearing term, not a size term.
Yeah,
You're
they're
shorter than they are.
they're more or
Shut up.
less just on the lower edge of medium.
But so at 5th level, that is going to be 3d8 plus 4. That is not a d8, that is a d20. I should know how to count by now. So that's... So 16 health back to those people.
Okay.
16 health
What do you
back.
mean, those people?
The people I put in the Discord. Then, following that up, for the bonus action, we gonna do some vicious mockery of them bitches.
Okay, so you decided not to do Strahd then?
Can I heal Strahd? Wait,
I mean, he has down 43 HP, that's what I was saying.
oh, I forgot
he's
that. I
undead.
forgot. Yeah, I keep on thinking that the healing spells are gonna do damage to him. Go ahead and trade out the Mage Kobold for Strahd. Yeah. Strahd will get the healing instead of the Mage Kobold, because I don't believe Mage really needs it, if I'm being honest, but...
Okay.
Alright, then we're following that up with some vicious mockery of the... We'll go for the one that's on Sill currently, because I think that one's taking more damage, so if we're lucky, that'll be enough to put it down. So that is a 15 Wisdom save.
That's exactly 19.
Bet you
Well-
don't have an inspiration to die.
Actually, you're right. It does specify no effect on undead or construct, so it would not work on Strahd. So,
Yeah.
Oh, the healing spell?
yeah. Some of the healing spells do, but not.
Ask
I
your
think it's
wizard.
Vampire Touch is one of them.
Well, there are some that just say giving HP back, and it doesn't specify undead or constructs on it.
Oh, yep, that spell has no... Okay. Alright. I mean, at least it doesn't do damage. So yeah,
If
so
you
it'll
want to
just be
heal
the
him,
mage then.
Just let him bite you.
No thanks. I do
Nom,
not
nom,
have the
nom.
hit points to support that, considering how I am the healer.
Nom, nom, nom.
I mean, it could be worse. You could be a first edition wizard.
True. Yeah. Point. Good point.
All right.
Which is why
Anything
we're gonna
else
stop
that you're gonna
talking
do?
about it. Hey, that's probably gonna be about it for Darwin for that turn.
Okay. All right. The Kobold Spear is going to slowly move toward. Let's see. He's going to move towards Strahd, and he is going to try and attack it without hitting Strahd. And with pack tactics, it has advantage. It does not hit, unfortunately. Alright, and it's going to put up its shield. And it is Dob's turn.
So there's still one undispersed.
No. The last one that was undispersed formed around Strahd.
jump down and smash onto that magma elemental.
No, he's pretty far down now. So I can't hit them without hitting the people they're attached to?
You would ordinarily have disadvantage to it, but if you end up getting a nat 1, it will instead be hitting that person.
Go attack the one that's on Strahd.
You hit the one that's on sale.
So you said it's disadvantage?
Yeah.
I rolled a 2. But that turns into 16 to hit.
Does not hit.
To hit.
That does hit.
DC 20 tech save. Love being a fighter.
That's a 16.
It's prone.
Meryl, I'm not sure what you're eating, but it sounds like you're...
I forgot to mute my microphone. I'm sorry. Thought I muted it.
some sort of organic vacuum.
Oh, it's Cheez-Its.
Alright. So, anything else that Dobbs is doing?
Yeah. It's 51. 8 of which is electrical. And then we're gonna move back and bonus action charge at it. Try to hit it again. Which is a 22.
Okay. You said that you're charging?
Yes.
Okay.
Bonus action dash for charge. 22 to hit.
That hits.
And that does 34, 6 of which is electrical.
Okay.
And that'll be the turn.
Alright. So, it gets hit and scattered out across the butte. And Strahd is knocked over and skidding along it. He's not far enough to be close to the edge, though, so... just have to add that as additional damage to him. Alright, anything else Dobbs is doing?
No. He will end his turn.
Alright. Well, the other one is dead. Then there's the fake kobold cleric. Is going to go over toward Syl. And just thwack it with the staff, but misses with a 7. It is Umber's turn.
She's not blinded, right?
For 1 minute, when you were affected before. It was just Syl and Strahd that were affected, correct? Yeah. So,
Okay.
no. Umber is not blinded.
Nice.
So
Nice,
now that I
nice,
knocked
nice.
him off him, is he still blinded?
He is, yes. It's just basically, it's sand in the eyes. It just takes time to get it out and see things. It's, they have no clothing, otherwise it could be pocket sand, but,
Wusses.
Strahd only rolled a 3 plus his 3 modifier, so he was way underneath the DC.
Alright. She's gonna load in as a bonus action a special engine ammunition made of ice. She's gonna make an engine blast that creature. But before she does that, is there anyone else besides Syl in a 20-foot diameter?
The fake kobold cleric, yes.
How close is he?
They're within 5 feet.
Well, they'll live. She's gonna shoot it. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Everyone in there with 20-foot diameter needs to make it. Well, Syl fails.
So, the elemental has a 9, and the
Nice.
kobold has a 5.
Yeah, they all fail. They take 3, 9, ooh, 15. They take 17 cold damage. And their speed is reduced to half until the end of their next turn.
Okay. Anything else Umbra is doing?
She's going to actually should have been dueling. Damn. Oh well. She'll use her action surge to shoot the elemental.
Okay.
Let's see. 4 plus 10.
Misses.
That's cool.
No, your actual attack that hit, that was cool. It was cold, actually.
It was very cold.
As you are shooting at the elemental, the Fake Kobold Cleric is barking something out at the other ones. Right. Anything else that Umbra is doing?
No, that's all she can do. Well, she could fly. She'll fly back down to the ground. And that'll be it.
All right. It is Kale's turn.
Hello, hello, hello. There's like one elemental left. I can't remember, is it?
Yes.
Is it dispersed or I can't remember.
No, it is in the same space as Syl. Yeah, it would have been the Fake Cold Spear's turn, but they missed, so.
Sure.
If you hit Syl, it's okay.
They missed.
Yes. Sure.
I didn't get a nat one, though.
I guess I'll just blood curse it. I'll use blood curse of bloated agony. So, and I'm also going to amplify that. So I'm going to take a d8. That's 5 damage. Okay, so blood curse of bloated agony. The enemy painfully swells until the end of my next turn. For the duration, the creature has disadvantage on strength and dexterity ability checks, and takes 1d8 necrotic damage if it makes more than a single melee or ranged attack during its turn. At the end of each of its turn, this curse lasts for 1 minute once I've amplified it, and at the end of each of its turns, it can make a DC 16 Constitution saving throw to get rid of it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 14.
That misses.
It's a 19.
That hits.
It's a nat 20 for 28.
That hits.
First hit.
Only odd numbers hurt.
The first hit is 8 damage.
Okay.
Or, hang on. Yeah. Second hit is 18 damage. That's it.
All right. It is Syl's turn.
Bite it.
Feeling a little chilly. Well, if she swings with her scythe, how is that gonna hit it? It's on her.
You just have disadvantage. It's fine.
There's a kobold 5 feet away from her.
Yep, but you have disadvantage from 2 different things, so it basically still means disadvantage. Because you're both blinded and it in your space. D&D doesn't say you get double disadvantage, but because you have more disadvantage than advantage, you still have disadvantage.
Is it on her front part of her body?
Yes.
Can she just lay down? Like fall forward on it?
I mean, it's made of sand, so you can try that. It might just simply let you pass right through it. You don't know. You can certainly try. But you do at least recognize the fact that it's not like a solid body that you can necessarily knock prone unless you do enough damage.
So if she were to lay down on her back, it would not be prone?
It's in your space, but it's not, like, bound to you.
So, alright, so if she were to lay down, the thing would just, like, move to where its feet is now covering her face, but it's still standing up?
Right now it's in the same space. If you intentionally went prone, you could make it so that before it has its turn, if its turn wasn't next, then somebody could possibly attack it without risking you. But because its turn is next, that really wouldn't help a whole lot. Unless somebody had a reaction.
Can she move and it stays there, or will it stay stuck on her?
Yeah, you can move. It's your turn. It's just, right now, it's where you're at.
Oh, well, this guy is getting...
Your movement just
He's
gets
gonna-
halved because it's in your space, though. So, you can still move.
Oh, definitely. She's moving, like, 5 feet away from it. And is going to attack. But is she still blinded?
Yes.
Bah!
You're still blinded, and because you move 5 feet away, you're no longer 5 feet from, the fake kobold cleric.
Yeah, but it has a 10-foot range for some ungodly reason.
You can still attack it, it's just you're still going to have disadvantage.
Whatever, those kobolds are pissed off enough already, so she's gonna attack it at disadvantage. Well, that looked like a 1, but it's a 7.
Okay.
So a dirty 20.
So the 7 then, which means you miss.
The what?
It was at disadvantage. You take the lower of the 2?
No, I thought it was a 1, but it's a 7. The other roll was an 8.
Okay. Because you didn't say what the second one was. You said a dirty 20.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, so you still would take the 7 then. So that would put it to a dirty 19. Is what you're saying? If the 8 was a dirty 20?
No, with the 7, it's a dirty 20.
Okay.
She gets a plus 13.
Okay, then yes, it does hit.
Okay.
You said them as if they're 2 different rolls, and that's what I was saying. They miss.
My bad. I'm tired.
Hi, tired.
Yep.
I'm tired.
don't
I'm DM.
remember how much damage it does. Here we go. Yeah, they need to make a dexterity saving throw. DC 13.
It's 13 even without their modifier. So that is
Alright.
18.
For the sand thing?
Said they had a high modifier.
Well, the kobold would need to make it too, because it's within 10 feet of it. And for the damage, it is...
That's a nat 14 before its modifier.
Alright, good. So it only
Which
takes
means
half
a
damage.
15.
It's, Oh, sure use a charge, so it's only a 5-foot radius. So Kobold doesn't take any damage.
Okay.
And that would be 8 plus 7, 15 magical slashing. Oh, 8 plus 10. It's 18 slashing and 3 poison damage.
Alright. So that is 19 total since it's halved.
It's resistant to magical slashing damage.
You said that you reduced it, but it still passed its dex save.
That 3 was reduced poison damage. It was originally 6.
Okay, but was the slashing reduced, or is
No,
that...
the slashing, they take the full slash and only half poison.
Okay. Okay, that's what I was asking, because you had just said it was reduced to half before you called out any of the damage.
My bad.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a difference. Alright. And anything else?
She's gonna attack again with her Sevicol feature, not kicking it. Alright, so that's a 28 to hit.
Hits?
She'll use up a charge, so it won't affect the kobold, but it needs to make another dexterity save.
That is a dirty 20.
So that is 17 slashing and 2 poison damage.
Alright. And that ends your turn.
Bonus action to dodge.
Alright.
That'll end my turn.
It is going to try and attack the kobold next to it. Kobold cleric. Hit with a 16. Beats its AC. And that is 6, 15 slashing and 4 bonus. They are not looking so good. And then it is going to move toward Syl and try to hit them as well. Which I believe activates the bloated agony element.
Indeed.
Because it does not know what that is. Does that apply as it's taking the action or afterward?
It can take the action will go through, but it takes the damage. Or
Okay, just meaning in terms of the order, so that's why I was just double checking.
let me see. Let me
Zondell,
double
you
check.
good?
So any strength or dexterity checks it has disadvantage on. If it makes more than a single attack, it takes 1d8 necrotic damage.
Okay. So then it will do it at the end since it doesn't specify directly in there. So that is a dirty 20 to hit Syl.
That misses.
Alright, and then Kale, go ahead and roll the necrotic.
So the d8. 8 damage. Necrotic.
Okay.
I'm not the only one.
Who's
hearing
that?
right?
It's
That's-
Zondell, it happens this late at night. They still
Yeah, I
can hear
know.
us though and respond when they choose to. Believe me, when I was playtesting the Fairhead system before it even did any live streams, there were times where he did that and then he'd answer to anything that I asked while doing that. So, yeah, it's kind of odd, but happens.
No, I pointed it out earlier because it was in the middle of Syl's turn, and I was like, I'm gonna assume it's just a bit late for him. I'll let him sleep for now.
Yeah, we're wrapping up pretty much soon anyways. So, Kale. Describe as the necrotic energy destroys their form.
So the necrotic energy kind of takes the form of like the shadow that's kind of... So the curses are basically just like shadows congeal on something and like stick to it. If it's a blind curse, it sticks to their eyes, etc. So it kind of looks like the shadows dig into it and like slowly rip it apart because it's bloated, and it's like its efforts have ruptured its structural integrity.
Okay.
I'll be honest, that looks pretty cool. That sounds pretty cool. Kinda sus, but sounds pretty cool.
So, as it digs into it, ripping apart its bloated form, it bursts open, and as the sand is scattered across the butte, ordinarily you'd, at different angles, see little reflections of the light beaming off of it from the silica that is within the sand itself. But instead of that, the shadow clings to it, and it is darker in the spots where it would normally be bright, and the wind slowly drifts it off the butte as you're all standing around.
Orm just kind of looks over and just goes, I see you. Really showing off your worth today, I'll say that. Like, did you take some drugs before you went to sleep last night or something?
Part of the training process is the drugs. Not not recently.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Still can't see anything.
Yeah,
And
Darwin's
she
gonna
will
go
say
over.
that out loud. I can't see anything.
We'll go over and help. I'm guessing it's probably like sand in the eyes type deal. So Darwin will go over and try and help clear that up real quick.
Strahd also says, I do not know what it was that just happened, but it sounded interesting from the reactions.
Oh, you blind too?
He is blinded, yes.
At present I am. That is
Right.
correct.
God,
Should be easy enough.
I'm sure you've encountered blood hunters before. You know what just happened.
I do know some, but they have their own uniqueness to how they do things. Perhaps when we are done with our matters here, you can explain it in more detail.
Umbra's gonna check on Linnell, see how she's doing.
They're more or less moving an arm and just waving it a bit to flick out sand that had gotten into part of their form. I hate sand. It's coarse and it's gritty and it gets everywhere.
Darwin just kind of looks over his shoulders like, I know that book, Cloak. That's a good book. Did you read it?
That's not a good book. I'm sorry, but it was actually pretty trash.
I had to do
Hey,
it. I mean,
stop that.
It was right there.
That is a great book. I did a thesis on it in my College of Lore. I'm sorry, the fact he kept on getting louder as we were talking.
Yes.
Yeah, I just muted him. He'll either notice it or he'll, go to sleep.
Oh my god.
Fully. But, like I said, it's fine. With everything else that happened tonight, I'm not bothered by that or,
That's just how the
Ninja
knot
having
ended up going
to
tonight.
dick out, It still ended up, a lot happening. I mean, you guys did trigger all three of the potential things to encounter.
Nice.
Perfect.
Well,
3 for 3.
4 actually, but 2 of them were kind of tied to each other. So yeah.
Darwin need to do any rolls, by the way, for helping clear up the eyes of everybody who
no,
blinded?
it takes a minute, so all that you're really doing is just helping them out and trying to see where it is and stuff like that. The amount of time it takes to check both eyes is equivalent to a minute anyways for what seconds remain.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it's more or less flavor that you're helping them out with that in that regard.
Gotcha.
But as you are in the middle of that and Linnell makes her jab at pop culture, the fake kobolds are trying to sneak off and start climbing down the side of the cliff opposite where the cave entrance had been, back where the bridge used to be. They don't seem intent on sticking around.
Do we see that they're doing that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't even have to roll. It's like they're being obvious about it.
Yeah. And we'll just kind of shout on heads like, hey, do you have some place to go?
Yes. Not here.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me. Watch out for the lava worms and giant rock chickens.
Can you?
Copious amounts of traps on all these buttes.
You shush.
They look at each other like, wait, what? What?
Still's gonna
Oh, you
go
don't know
and
about
be-
those?
And ask them about where they were locked up.
They point over at the manor.
Do you know? Have you been inside of it? Like, do you remember anything about it?
They look at each other very slowly and then shake their head.
I've seen that kind of look before. That's all I'm gonna say. Still, there's not good things in there.
Gee, you think? All the shit that's been out here, you think good stuff is inside there?
You don't even have to do
Like
an
all-
insight check. You can tell that they're lying about knowing what's going on in there.
Like, jokes
Yeah.
aside, still, this is This is something that you feel in the soul. What we're probably gonna see in there.
Which soul?
Hey, look. I'm trying to be like philosophical here. Sound like profound. You don't gotta do me like that.
You're right.
You're gonna do it anyways, aren't you?
No, I mean, you did heal me, so you're not that bad in my books.
Oh, thank you. It's appreciated. But Darwin kind of turns back to Three Cold Winds and be like, yeah, I'm, again, just warn you, y'all helped us, and I'm gonna help y'all out. If you're going now, be careful. There's a lot of things out there that, frankly, are probably almost as scary as what you met out here.
And
Especially the
bigger.
rock chickens. Yeah, and bigger, probably, too. There's more of them.
Find hole. Tunnel.
To say, well, depending on where you're tunneling, I guess. If you're tunneling into a butte, you'd be safe. But if you're tunneling in the sand, just one of you, lava worms. Not a fun time. Having a really rough time not laughing at just having Arendelle snoring in the background. I swear,
You haven't
after every
muted him yet?
sentence. No, the thing is, I turned his volume way down. He's still slowly getting louder.
That's why you mute him.
No, but it's really funny and I like it.
So
It's giving me a good laugh.
they give a little nod and start heading down.
One of them immediately falls. Not
No. One of the one that first tried crossing the bridge to head back toward the manor because originally, tortured or not, it's safer in there. Mentality. Grabs hold of one of the other one's arms and just pointing down as the magma elemental is down near the base, trying to circle its way to some handhold of getting up.
Oh shit, that thing's still down
Do we
there.
see that it's pointing down?
Yeah, you can see them, but you can't see what's down below until you go to the edge. But as soon as you can, then you can see that.
Oh, you bet Darwin's going to the edge to see what they're pointing at now. He just peeks over the head, looks over and is like, it didn't kill it. It's not dead.
Yeah, it does look like its form is fairly broken up. That the impact did do quite a sizable amount of damage to it.
How far away is it?
Presently, it's about 300 feet.
Oh, poo. That exceeds her range.
How far again?
About 300 feet.
Well, I'm just like, how difficult would it be for me?
To swan dive and hit it?
No. So, you know how cold things and whatnot affect fire elementals badly, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to dump a bucket of water on a fire elemental, it'd be real bad, right?
Typically.
Yeah, so, stew or soup counts as food, right?
Yes.
And with the create food and water spell, you can choose whether the food is hot or cold, correct?
Yes.
So what if I did create food and water? Because I can create 45 pounds of soup and 30 gallons of water, which is equivalent to 250 pounds of water. So I basically have, like, what, 35 gallons of water, essentially. What if I were to do that at the edge of the cliff to drop it down on this guy's head?
How many
Kind of.
gallons is it that you said?
So, create food and water creates 45 pounds of foods and 30 gallons of water, which 45 pounds of soup, if we're assuming a mostly water base, is roughly equivalent to about 5 gallons of water. Essentially, I'd be sending 35 gallons of water, slightly flavored.
Go ahead and make a Arcana check.
All right. Come on, get me that 16. That'll probably be good enough. My dice might actually be weighted to 16. What the fuck? I have to check that. I'm gonna have to like roll it 1,000 times and see how many times I get 16. But total is gonna be 18.
Yeah, statistics are, even if it's not weighted, it'll still happen.
Sure.
So, while they are susceptible, it more is akin to that just being in water or anything that's a water's rain or things like that. A certain amount of it does cause some cold damage, akin to every 5 feet or in water, or for every gallon to 1 cold damage. So
So it'd be essentially equivalent to about 35 damage.
If it's that many gallons, yes.
Okay. How many times can I cast
That's
a spell?
if you hit it.
Yeah, that's the issue. Is I only have a 30-foot range.
Right. Which, I mean, you can drop, but with how far it has to fall, it may spread out and miss.
What else do I have that could be of potential use?
Well,
And I really wish I had a
Umbra
spell
can
that was just...
shoot at it.
Wait,
Umbra's
yeah,
gonna
sure.
shoot at it.
Do you have range that long?
The long range of her revolver is 800 feet.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you know
shooting
what?
at
The long range of
disadvantage.
mine's 400. So, yeah, so I can hit it as well, probably. No, wait. Let me shoot at it first, because my crossbow has the thing where one shot illuminates a target like fairy fire. So then you gain advantage while shooting at it. So then the advantage and disadvantage would cancel out. If I'm able to hit it, obviously, but...
Well, if you're able to hit it, then it could help.
Yeah.
Go for it. Umbra's just waiting there in the corner, 2 pistols out, both of them on cold damage.
Yeah, and they're already set for it, so it's not like it's going to take extra time.
Yeah. And Darwin's just going to kind of poke his head pull out his heavy crossbow, kind of lean over the edge and be like, alright, let's see if this will hit. Am I rolling disadvantage for this, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Alright, so first roll. That's pretty good. Bonus. That one's a 18. Okay. Now let's not get anything lower than that. Oh, well, shit, that's probably not hitting. That is what? 14? Yeah, so 14.
That does not hit.
Shit. Well, it's worth a shot. Totally.
Alright, Umbra's gonna shoot at this thing. That misses.
Hey, Arundel's back.
15 misses, right?
15 misses, yes.
Yeah, both of our shots missed.
I mean, it's gonna take it some time.
Did the magma guy hit the ground yet?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it did,
And
but
that's
the
what
issue
they're
is
trying
not
to
dead.
hit.
Okay.
Yeah, we finished off everything else, and the kobolds were getting ready to climb down the opposite side, and they looked over, one of them started pointing, and the guy's trying to find a place to start climbing back up again from the bottom.
Yeah. So it's about 300 feet down, but they can see it. So.
Miranda can go over and shoot at it.
Oh, the fuck! Ah,
Yeah,
shit.
Umber could have flown closer, but I wasn't going to say
Yes!
anything.
I know! I forgot!
It's too hilarious to just let you plink from a distance.
Fucking hell! I forgot I could.
I mean, we got time. We can just do it again.
Yeah.
Like everyone, it's just like a firing line. Like everyone with ranged weapons just peeks over the corner. Just boom, 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 boom.
She'll fly 200 feet away from the thing and just shoot it.
Yeah, Miranda can go and start Eldritch blasting it.
Okay.
Her next shot is 22.
Okay, that would hit.
And the second shot misses. So first damage.
And what is Miranda's roll?
21, 26, 24.
They all hit.
Uh, 34 altogether.
Okay. All right.
What about now? I really
Bonus
wish I had
action.
some kind of spell that reached 300 feet.
Bonus action, do it again.
Okay,
Besides Dimension Door.
And what was Umbra, since you're both trying to do that at the same time? For your damage on it.
So that's 8, 11, 12, 16. 16 cold damage.
Okay. So describe as the two of you are with force and cold shattering into it and freezing it.
I guess her shot would have frozen it, and then Eldritch Blast could have just broken it apart.
It's literally like the first headshot is what causes it to freeze, and then the second headshot causes like a downs the middle explosion from the inside type deal.
That work for you, Arundel?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like the freaking Independence Day explosion, like
And then I continue to put
the
the
raining from above.
the neck, I guess.
Okay. All
How much falling damage did it take?
right. 300 feet of it?
Oh,
Well,
did
Wait,
it
what?
die?
It got crit off the edge.
Yeah.
I crit it and then for its ass, and then ran back
And then
and
grab
charged
crit.
it.
The thing is that the maximum is 20d6, so it would have been 30 if there wasn't a max. So,
Yeah.
but still got hit a lot.
Terminal velocity. Wow.
Yeah. So, there is a glittering that is seen from where the body is, flickering very lightly.
Ooh, Randy goes checks it out.
Yes. Umbra will check it out too.
Pour some water on that beach.
As you head down there, you can see that there are a few things remaining where the corpse had been. Amidst all of the ice and rock and still cooling magma, there are 15 diamonds that look to be about 150 gold pieces worth each. There is also a couple of stones that are encased in metal and glass.
And
These
what are
stones themselves faintly still glow like the magma.
Mage hand.
Mage Hand doesn't seem to be affected by it, but it does lift them up.
I'll take these. You can take the diamonds. We can head back up.
Sure. So, take up the diamonds.
Okay.
She can make some jewelry with this.
All right. So, the stones themselves in the metal and glass do appear to have small markings on them.
Do you know the identify spell?
Darwin does not.
Umbra does.
Well, let's head back up and get all this looked at.
Yeah. It'd be safer up there than down here.
So, the fake kobolds who had been heading down have finished climbing back up again. Glance down, see that it's been destroyed.
Start
And,
climbing back down.
well, no, they more or less just kind of go to one knee. Like, even though you caused all of this stuff to be all in one place where we were trying to escape, you still kind of took them out, so...
We're not worthy.
Good shooting, by the way, Umbra. Like,
We're
Jesus
not
Christ.
worthy.
All in a day's work.
Hear that? Well, that and then some, because think about what we had to deal with in the last butte.
It's still a day's work.
Yeah. So, do you take the time to identify them?
Yeah. Showed you the ritual. The whole song and dance.
Help, I guess.
All right. So, these are 2 magma stones. They require attunement. They turn melee-based damage into magical fire damage and give resistance to bludgeoning and fire damage.
Do they add any damage, or do they just convert?
They just convert it.
Okay.
Resistant to fire and damage?
fire, and bludgeoning.
My bad, yeah.
Also good for hot spring. And to warm your bathtub.
With the amount of fire things we're starting to come across, I wonder if those big lava chickens and the lava worms we've come across before are also creations of this alchemist.
Welcome to
Alchemist,
the shimmer,
not
where
alchemist.
everything's hot.
They're two different things.
Would Umbra have realized that they were not here when she first got here?
In terms of the lava worms themselves, they were larger, but they at least seemed like things you've heard of. They're just larger than described. And then the rock chickens, as you guys call them, they are not something that you've heard of before. They ran away, so you guys didn't smash them open or anything like that. They didn't seem like they were like chiseled or anything out. They did look more natural in nature, at least. They all are elementals, though. The sand
Right.
elementals, at the very least. The fact that they only appeared after the kobold stepped on the bridge in that particular spot, and one of them tried warning about, placing a foot where Darwin was about to. Those you can at least surmise that the alchemist is most likely responsible for them being there, either controlling them or summoning them or something.
Cool.
Okay. And anything else that any of you would like to say or do before we end the session off?
We'll come up with a battle plan tomorrow, next time.
Yeah, short rest, do battle plan before we head over to the last bridge.
Okay. Anything else?
Umbra will show the diamonds to Linnell and ask her if she'd like anything made from them.
Well, it'd certainly buy a lot of supplies in terms of carving and chiseling and sculptures and such, but I'm not really much of a jeweler, so wouldn't be able to make much out of it.
I can make it. And I have some gold stashed away and some platinum.
If it suits your fancy, I suppose.
Okay. So, out of character, when or if she makes something, would it be how much would it sell for?
That would depend on what you're trying to make. At the very least, from the fact that you have 1,550 gold diamonds, you'd be able to charge at least that much. Unless you intentionally make something that is supposed to be sold for less, that's gaudy and disturbing, just to smuggle it or something like that. It's feasible, but, that'd be an odd roleplay choice of your own choosing if you try to make it something less valuable than that.
Diamond-tipped crossbow bolts or bullets?
You
No,
could do it.
I definitely.
I'd say at the very least it's going to be a +1. Alright. Well, then we will end the stream off for the night. We can talk a little bit if people want to be up for just a short while. Otherwise, we will catch people next week if all goes well.
Hoorah.
Good
I still